Yeah, we are, John.
Of course we are. It's a special Christmas edition of your Forgive Helen. She's so excited today. Of course, it's a special Christmas edition of your Family Focus program. Today with John and Helen, live on Plus TV Africa. In all seasons all over the world, and making waves. Today we celebrate a young lady, yes, a young lady, who is so proud of Nigeria and of Nigerians, and indeed she's flying the green, white, green flag globally.
Yes. Our next guest is a trained shoemaker. Yes. With a business administration degree from the University of Kent. In 2006, when she returned back to Nigeria, she started her own footwear and fashion accessories line. It is a Christmas season, and we are glad that she could join us to talk to us about what she's been doing. And it's time to welcome to Today with John and Helen live this young lady, pretty, dark in complexion. She says she's shy.
I'm blushing on her behalf.
It's good to have you in the studio. Anwuli Mordi Anenih.
Thank you.
Founder, creator, QAMIN, Nigeria, to look at globally positioning made in Nigerian brands. Hello again.
Hello.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. Your bag is distracting me, actually.
It's meant to distract you.
So, could you kindly let's kick off this way. Just connect us, with your passion and success, and connect that passion to the season that we're in now.
Wow, that's an interesting one. Made in Nigeria is every year we have a resurgence. We're going to take over the world. And I think the demand grows every single year because, unfortunately, as we have more people leave the country, while they're out there, they want more of what they've left behind.
That's right.
So while we have the resurgence of made in Nigeria products, it's renewed time and time again, especially around Christmas, where we have a lot of people coming back home to get as much as they can, whether it's the vibes, it's the fashion, it's the food. Made in Nigeria, there's such an upsurge in demand around this time. And I think it's a great thing because it helps us go global. So a lot of people will stop you in the street and say, this dress is amazing. What are you wearing? And it's like, oh, I got it in Nigeria. And there's this sense of pride that someone loves what you're making, what you're wearing, but you got it from home. And this interest happens, it grows around the season.
All right, so I never looked at it that way. We talk about this Japa thing, it's like we're losing out. But we are gaining, from your explanation now.
Yes, I don't know
the
that
more
the gain
out there,
outweighs the loss.
Okay.
The gain doesn't outweigh the loss, but I do think that the fact that there's so many Nigerians
and they're taking more of us out.
Yes, in different countries around the world, they always want something that they can give as a gift from Nigeria. They want to wear something that reminds them of home. So I think that really helps push, made in Nigeria out there.
Okay, so the dollar is becoming king now in the Nigerian business space. In what ways can made in Nigerian brand take advantage of these developments?
That's a business.
That's a real business question. I think for a lot of brands, we have to be very honest about what we make. I think Nigerians have an amazing level of confidence. Everything we do is better than everyone else. That's just how we seem to be programmed.
Whether true or false.
Whether true or false. But sometimes you'll see a product and it's termed luxury, but then you go into the garment and the inside is not luxury. So we have to be honest as to where we stand in the global market, because you've got, lower end of the high street, you've got the high street, you've got off high street, you've got premium, you've got luxury. So if you're calling yourself luxury, but you're actually high street, you're not going to find a stockist.
Yeah.
You have to be honest, to say, this is my product, so this is the sort of store I should approach.
Yeah.
And
you see, the Nigerian pride is so profound. The only thing now is for us to to move that pride a little further and make sure that we do things right.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so now your bag again has been distracting me. So why Ashoke? Really, why Ashoke? Why did you choose Ashoke as the primary fabric for your bags?
I'm actually a trained bag maker as well. So I'm a shoemaker and I'm a bag maker.
You're a cobbler.
Yeah, well, cobbler,
So you're a shoemaker.
I'm a shoemaker. Cobbler, I think we have this thing in Nigeria where we kind of flip words to have a different meaning. So normally cobbler, yes, is a shoemaker, but here we take it as someone who just repairs shoes.
Okay.
So that's why I try to insist on shoemaker, so you know I can actually make a pair of shoes from scratch. Why Ashoke? I used to work with leather. And when I came back to Nigeria and I wanted to start my own brand, I started with leather. But then you go to the markets. I used to go to fairs in Italy and, you know, try and get, but it's so expensive to have a business where you're having to travel abroad. So I found the leather markets in Lagos here. But then we have a problem. You go today, you buy a skin, and then you come tomorrow, it's all gone. So there's literally no continuity. And then I thought, you know what, I had some heels, I wanted to wrap them with something, and I thought, okay, I have some Ashoke, let me see if it works. And it was brilliant. So Ashoke works like leather for me, and I just think its versatility is top notch.
Okay. Wow. All right, and just like John has been admiring it, I'm sure a lot of people are sold out the Ashoke bag thing right now, like I am too. Okay, so you have done several pop-ups in different parts of the world, and this has to be very cost intensive for you. You relate it with what you're doing, because what we're trying to do is sell Nigeria. So like, for example, Ashoke is all over here. You're using Ashoke now, and when you used to go to source your products from outside of Nigeria, relate, you know, it to what you're doing now and how it's impacting on your business.
I mean, pop-ups are cost intensive, because now we're paying in a foreign currency and we know what's happening with our naira. But I do think pop-ups are essential for market research. There's a type of information that now you cannot collect at all.
Can we enact some of them? Can we bring them home?
Oh yes, kind of. Oh yes, we do bring them home. So as much as we're going to position ourselves globally, we want to gather information that helps us in production, in what colors to use, what kind of finishing to have, what sort of styles to bring in. But here as well, it's the same thing. So I go to pop-ups a lot here because I still want to find out who my customer is. It's been so hard, because you'll have a 22-year-old who will choose the exact same bag as a 50-year-old. And so I've been in turmoil, because I'm still struggling to put my customer into the perfect, spread them across demographics to see who they are. But I think what we've discovered is Ashoke, a lot of people don't have a chance to use Ashoke in their day-to-day lives. Unlike our grandparents who, they brought it out at the weekend, there was a party to go to. They were using it more frequently. We don't dress like that anymore. So a lot of people think, okay, this is Ashoke, oh my goodness, but it's a bag, and I can wear it with my jeans, and I can take it to a wedding. So I think the versatility of having that makes it really, really attractive to people. But we only discover this by talking to them at the pop-ups.
Okay, I can call you Anwuli.
Yes, of course, please.
Can I just digress a bit? I need to get something off my chest, right? I've looked at your hair. It's made in Nigeria.
Yes.
I've looked at your package.
Yes. Made in Nigeria. This is made in Nigeria.
Are you doing this because you're doing that?
No, not at all.
How much of?
Not at all.
How much of you is rubbing off, or which is rubbing off of which?
They're just intertwined. They're intertwined. I've always been a Nigerian through and through. Okay. My parents are very, very. They brought us up to be Nigerian. I don't know how else to put it.
And we're losing a lot of that.
We're losing a lot of that. So I was discussing with my sister-in-law a while ago, and we mentioned, we touched on the fact that if you travel, you don't really shop that much, because the Nigerian designers have taken fashion up to such a height that your average fashion in Nigeria is It's higher than what you'd get in a normal shop elsewhere. So I'm wearing this outfit today. It's made in Nigeria.
Wow.
I don't think I could walk into a store in London and find the same thing at the same price. So we dress up a lot in this country. So our daily wear is what some people might wear for a wedding in a different country.
Yeah.
So I think it's just intertwined because you're looking for the best of made in Nigeria, and you just keep looking until you find
Okay,
it.
so I can breathe again.
Yes.
So very quickly, is it easier to globally position certain made in Nigerian products, than others? For example, is it easier to get more global market for made in Nigerian clothes over perfumes or jewelry and other accessories?
I think it might be easier for clothes from my own perspective. I really don't know anything about the jewelry and the perfume market. I do know of an amazing jewelry brand. So she works with people in Kenya, and just kind of sources fantastic pieces and brings them to Nigeria. And she's now designing. So I know that people are doing a lot of different things in all the markets, but most of my knowledge is fashion. And I think the fashion is really pushing the envelope. I think fashion takes the lead from my point of view because we've been doing it for quite a bit of time. And yeah, we're just well known for that.
Yeah. So let's see how this has even affected or impacted our economy. All of this made in Nigeria stuff. Do you see any remarkable impact on, say, our GDP, our economy, whatever?
Well, I mean, I haven't been looking at such figures for the whole country.
Yeah.
But I do think all the small brands, made in Nigeria brands, who really work hard and push their products. Some of our brands are stocked in massive stores abroad, and so they're bringing in funds. We employ labor, so as well as it being direct, it's also indirect.
Yeah.
So I have people who work and make bags, but then I'm buying ashoke. I literally I have to spend millions of naira buying ashoke every single year. So if I'm buying ashoke, that means there's a demand for ashoke. I'm not the only bag brand that makes with ashoke. So we actually kind of feel the demand for our woven fabric, which just, it keeps on trickling.
I actually asked that question because, you see, I think we have to get ourselves to a point where these things will help us with the rates, the dollar naira rates, let's see,
I mean,
by the time we push a little harder.
We can't push by ourselves. The thing is, it's bigger than us. We need the cooperation of the government. We need a lot of people, private individuals, to invest. We need a lot of things to happen for our businesses to grow and make a huge impact. But I do think we are making an impact.
Okay, so it's Christmas, Let's quickly connect all of this to Christmas and the spirit of Christmas and being a Naija mom. How does one successfully plan a proper made in Naija Christmas celebration? We had the first guest who had some weird and beautiful idea.
Okay, I didn't hear. But I mean, as a Naija mom, I have 2 little girls, and I buy clothing that's made in Nigeria.
Good.
I buy clothing that's made in Nigeria. They have 1 or 2 of the tiny micro bags. We buy footwear. So a lot of the gift giving throughout the year, leading up to Christmas, is made in Nigeria products. So I think, again, we're part of the fuel. We're eating our pounded yam and soup at Christmas time. So we are really pushing, to have a Christmas that makes sense to us.
I remember when I mentioned to you that would you be kind enough to wear the Father Christmas cap? It's between us, right? She said no. She said please, I'll pass.
I'm not against wearing, but I just feel like it wouldn't really go with.
Beautiful, natural.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
So,
I love my natural.
before we wrap, for a round off, a quick but practical advice now, for young made in Nigeria brands out there who may be having it rough.
I mean, I mentioned before, you have to be honest about your product.
Okay.
You really need to know what you're offering to the market. And I think a lot of made in Nigeria brands having it tough. It is tough. There's no beating about the bush. We are all having it tough. But some might be having it a bit tougher than others because of maybe a lack of knowledge of the market. So I would say, please do more research. Because if you're going into a business because, oh, my friend is doing really well and she's cashing out, it might not be the right thing for you. So if you don't know how to find out the information you need to survive in that business, it will be really tough. So I'd say to people, do as much market research as you can. And as tempting as it is to be the madam in a business, sometimes you just have to be a regular worker.
To learn.
Wear your slippers and pack the order, and there's nobody clean the floor. You have to double down and be part of your business. Yes, thank you, madam. You need to take a leadership role by serving. So it has to be done to make your business successful.
All right. It wasn't so difficult.
No, it wasn't actually.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. And we should be doing more of this. You know, especially, I see a lot of shoes with, Do you do for both male and female? Or?
I stopped making shoes for a while, but we're going to start again in 2024 because I just couldn't deal with the sizes, 39, 41, you know, too many things. With bags, you just make a bag, people take the bag. But yes, we're looking into male and female. I started off with female wear, but I think menswear will come in as
I was going to ask men's shoes.
Yes, definitely men's shoes.
A lot of men carry bags around now anyway. So
it's amazing. When we make them in darker colors, the men like them. But once it's red, but I say to them, but when you're wearing your hat, your cap, you know, to a wedding, you don't care if it's pink. They just say, take your ashwabi and you wear your pink cap, you know. But yeah.
Alright, so we'd like to say thank you again for taking time out to be with us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And all too soon, we've run out of time again. And what is left for us is to thank you for your time, Ali, and I hope that you'll be back here maybe Easter.
Yes, whenever you have me, I'll be back.
Promise?
I promise.
We won't forget when you come
I know.
down here.
No, not at all. I'll be here.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas. I love you, little girls.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
to your family.
And so it's Merry Christmas to you, and as we wish that 2024 will see us all making more disciples, especially those of you who are working, you know, the global scene, so that we can make more disciples in the global terms with the Nigerian brand. Another break beckons, this time to welcome Dolly Phillips, and it's time to keep fit. After that, we return with the final conversation. Our last guest is already in the building, and it will be the icing on the cake. Please don't go away.